You're watching the Battered Fans Network.
Chris, the Herons are back. Welcome everybody to episode number 268 of the Battered Herons podcast. I am your host, Daniel Granada, and alongside me, as always, Mr. KBD. How are you doing, sir?
Everybody's been excited about some trophy that was given out recently. The Balon, the balloon.
The Balon d'Or. Yes, that is. It is a big deal, Chris. It is a big deal. It's the best player in the world, and it's the first time in 21 years that neither Messi nor Ronaldo gets nominated for it. So I think that it's lost a little mystique because I feel like Ronaldo and Messi put it to such a level that it's impossible to get up there again. It's gonna take a while before people start getting excited about it again.
Yeah, I mean, I was just kind of going through it. There's your usual suspects. You got your Jude Bellingham. You got your
Jude Bellingham's first time. He's only 21.
Yeah, I mean, but from what I've been hearing, is he's been a beast and a half.
He fell off a little bit, but yeah, because it's supposed to be last season, right? Last season, and then the summer tournament, if there's a tournament. Brad Guzan should, after that performance, should have won goalie of the year just for that one performance. You are right, Tommy. Sure. That one performance should have won him the whole thing. But whatever. We could get into the Balon d'Or in a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I feel like that is a talking point. But I was surprised with the result. And I mean, I would have much rather see Laturo win it than Rodri. But again, we'll get into that towards the end of the show.
Yeah.
So, Chris, you were at the stadium, so you were not here. Well, you were here for like a couple minutes. You randomly jumped on for the post game, but you were not here for the actual game. I would love to hear what the atmosphere was like for the very first home playoff game in team history. It'll never happen again. This was the very first one. Even if you count the first time at the new state, whatever, this was the very first ever home playoff game. I missed it. Tell me, what was it like in your eyes?
It was really it was live. I mean, it was just really, it was packed. Seats were filling pretty quickly. A lot of people ended up showing, oh, look at that. And that's one of the reasons I was thinking about that team right there, Danny, is because of Duran. Yeah. But aside from that, I mean, look, it was live. The seats were filling quicker than I anticipated. Obviously, Miami is a very running on Latin time, I guess. Everybody's kind of running late, but everybody was in their seats, super live. Everybody was excited for the game. And I mean, the supporter group showed out too.
It looked a lot fuller than I would say the Orlando City game last night. I was watching the Orlando City game last night, and I was really surprised. Like all the crap that people talk about, like how people don't show up to our stadium.
Yeah,
like it's a playoff game, it's a home game, and I mean, I know that purple is their color, but I'm pretty sure those were seats that I was seeing. That was a really light state. I have to go check the actual numbers, but they had a not half empty, but I'd say that was like 75% full, maybe 80% full.
Yeah, I mean, when they played against Charlotte, the only thing I thought was, well, not only is it that they're playing against Charlotte, but I mean, it's a Sunday game, so I figured that it would have a better showing, right?
Yeah. Look, and I get it. It's technically almost like saying a weekday just because the next day you have to wake up early. I get it.
Yeah.
Still, it's Sunday. Like you could have gotten there early. You could have tailgated. I've gone to that stadium a few times. I don't know if there's really any place to tailgate, but there's like a lot of bars and restaurants there right up the street, right by I-4. Like you got places to go and things to do there. Like I'm really surprised. Yeah. I'm really surprised at the turnout at that stadium. But I don't even know why I brought that up. It just randomly came to me.
Well,
so go ahead.
I'll tell you the capacity for Inter and Coast Stadium.
And Inter North.
Inter North is 25,500. Right. Okay. And this is according to the Sun Sentinel in Orlando, to the Orlando Sentinel. The attendance was 17,787.
Oof.
For a Sunday game. I mean, what else is there to do on Sunday? Look,
I said 75%. That's about 75%. 75%, like I said.
But I mean, a Sunday?
Yeah.
Sunday night? Can't do better than that? Can't get over 20?
Like I told you, I thought that was
built, not bought.
I want to get into the game also, but we'll finish up with Miami. What did you think of the game? Because you were there.
Well, I mean, the game started off quick, right? I mean, a goal within the first couple minutes. So like right there, I mean, it was already intense. Like at that point, we knew it's in the bag. So, and it was right, at least from my perspective, it was right in front of us. So we were super happy about that. And I mean, like I said, look, it was a good showing from the supporter groups. It was a good showing on both the east and west side. People seem to have gotten there pretty decently early. They gave away these posters halfway through the match. When I thought that they were going to
halfway through the match.
Yeah, they were supposed to give the posters away in the beginning. I'm running around all over the place, and I'm like, "Where are these posters?" I'm asking people, and one thing I got a little problem with you guys over in Inter Miami. I'm just gonna say this right now. For those of you who don't work in this giveaway group or your department, just because you don't work with the promotions department and the sponsors department, don't tell me to go look for someone in that department. I have no idea how to sort you guys out. I see somebody with a badge and with an Inter Miami logo, and I'm thinking you can guide me to the right direction. And people are like, "Oh, I don't know anything about that. What? Oh, posters? What? Do your job." There's no poster like in the office that says, "Hey, we're doing this, and that." Like, what the hell? So then I ended up going.
Yeah, we just lost you. Your mic went away. Well, while he's doing that, I wasn't aware that these posters were given out at halftime. I'm kind of interested into how that went down, but I did think that was a pretty cool giveaway. It was the team poster. Are you back, Chris?
Yeah, I'm back. I think, right?
Yes.
So yeah, at halftime, I go to get Dippin' Dots, and everybody is like, ganging up on the table. I'm like, I need to see what's being given for free. You know me, that's free, right? I run up. And I see people post, so I'm like, "Oh, let me get some." And yeah, they did cut me off. That's probably what happened. They're more worried about my stream versus figuring out where the hell the posters are being given away. So I went ahead and grabbed like 20 of those. Yeah, poster is fire. Look, they were giving me like 5 at a time, Danny. So what am I gonna do? Say no? Like,
yeah, they were.
Give to the other. Yes, they were. Yes, they were.
Bet money that Chris doesn't give me one.
Oh, I got like 4 for you, bro.
You always say you got a bunch. You have like a full closet of giveaways that you were supposed to give me, and I haven't seen any of it. I bet you Stancy still hasn't seen it either.
No, she hasn't. I haven't sent it. I did send her a picture of the bag that I'm going to send her. I didn't show inside the bag because I wanted to keep that a secret. I'm going to send that in the care package I send. But she actually got a poster. I was going to send her a poster. It's like, no, I got one. So I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna send Stancy a poster. Luckily, she got one. So, but yeah, super nice poster. Very nice giveaway.
What did you think of Brad Guzan?
Yeah, in the beginning, I was chuckling him hard. But he's a badass. I mean, I go in. Like, I mean, the guys around me were just literally drilling this guy. But, I mean, he's a badass. He stood on his own, too, for sure.
No, look, I always give him a bunch of crap also. I think he sucks, but he played out of his mind. We were saying on the post game that it looked like he took some Compound V. I don't know if you've ever watched The Boys.
I don't even know what that is. I heard you guys talking about Compound V. I don't even know what the hell that is. I mean, Compound V, that sounds like a very terrible substance to be taking.
It's what the superheroes on the show take to get the superpowers. But yeah, he played out of his mind. So I guess my next question, so we can wrap up the game real quick. Are you worried at all about game number 2? And we are going to be back on Wednesday to preview game number 2. But just let me know. Are you worried about game number 2 after you see what we saw on Saturday?
I'm not that worried. I think that we'll have a good performance. I mean, look, there's going to be pressure. It's going to be less pressure for Atlanta. They're at home. They got the fans behind them. But I'm not that worried. There's going to be more pink than there is red over there. So
Tommy one time on our Discord let us know that they're opening up the top, and there's going to be It's going to be open to 70,000 people.
Of course.
So that's going to be quite the environment. And I know, obviously, our big guns are used to that. It's like not a big deal. But I still think that it's going to be pretty cool. It might be a big game feel. I mean, it's a playoff game, big game feel. I mean, it's their season on the line. And Brad Guzan just had the game of his life. He's riding that momentum, I'm assuming, into the next game. You're not worried at all?
No, I'm not that worried, dude. I'm not that worried. We're not playing on a weird pitch other than it's turf.
It is turf.
Right? Yeah.
Do you think turf. Messi starts? I know we're going to talk about this on Wednesday, but you think Messi starts?
I think he starts. Would
you start him?
Yeah, I'd start him. Because
Luis Suarez also?
Yeah, I'd start everybody. I mean, at this point, you want to try to get as many goals as quickly as possible, right? Like the idea is hopefully they bang in 2-3 goals and then you can bring everybody in the 60th minute. No? Because you don't want to bring Messi on late and we're tied or losing. That would be awful.
If they start, they're not coming off. Or at least Messi's not coming off. When was the last time you saw Messi come off? Never. And unless it's like a 5-goal lead.
That's a risk that we got to be willing to take.
Nah, I don't think he'll come off. But look, I think that you're right. I think everybody's going to start. I am not worried about the game either, just because I think this was their best shot. Brad Guzan is not going to have another performance like that. I don't think he's ever had a performance like that in his life. That's the greatest game he has to have ever played.
Played up to his competition.
And even then, they weren't able to steal one. Like, were you worried at all that the game might go to penalties? Because that I was worried about. When it was 1-1 and I saw the game Brad Guzan was having, I was like, you know what? If this goes to penalties, I might not feel good about this. Because he is playing insane right now, and he might just somehow save 1 or 2 and get that first game. That I was worried about.
I think that he was definitely on one. I think if we would have gone to penalties, it probably would have been bad. And then if you think about it, one of Calendar's, I guess when he got scored on, right, the only goal that we succeeded, he kind of had an opportunity to save it. It's just that it was so close and the defense let him down that's kind of crushing to Calendar. Yeah. But imagine Guzan, like he literally probably finished the game and thought, this is the best I played all year. Yeah. So if it goes to penalties, he's going in gassed.
And that was my one small worry.
Yeah.
But they didn't take that first game. I don't think they're going to get any more. That was their opportunity to steal one.
I mean, come on, Tank. It's Campana's game to shine.
Look, I can see Suarez getting subbed out. I just don't see Messi getting subbed out. All right. Well, neither you nor I think anybody in the chat is worried about Saturday's game. And the best thing about Saturday's game is that this is going to be the last game that we play where we go into it and we say, if we play the worst game of our lives ever and we were to lose, it's okay because you live to fight another day. Yeah. This is the last game of the season that is like this. After this, every single game is win or go home. So this is the last game that you can kind of go in and kind of just like, okay.
Yeah.
All right. If some crazy shit happens and we for some reason lose, oh well. We still we'll win next week.
I kind of, in a way, not to be selfish, because I mean, I would like the team to be as fit as possible, and we're probably going to go over Ian Fray in a little bit. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't mind having this series extend just for the simple fact of kind of keeping the players warm, because everybody talks about rest.
That was going to be my next question. Yeah, okay, go ahead.
But I mean, when it comes to the playoffs, especially when it comes to like American sports, right? I mean, we look at rest and there's fan bases that are like terrified of rest. I don't like rest. I don't like bye weeks. You give a team a bye week, that might be the end of them.
Look, in the NFL, that's proven to be the case a lot of times. Yeah. That team that gets that first round bye, a lot of times they get knocked out. 100%. That, like you said, the scary thing about that is that if we end the series this week, that would be what, November 2nd?
Yes.
And then that next game isn't for 3 weeks. Now, you will have players like Messi, maybe Diego Gomez, players that get called up for international duty. They'll have games to be played.
Yes.
But Jordi Alba isn't playing any international games. Sergio Busquets isn't. Yannick Bright isn't. Suarez isn't. Drake isn't. So you're going to have some guys that are – so you got some guys that are on 3 weeks rest and the majority. Let me pull up the starters again.
Yeah, I mean, the only players that can possibly get called up are Diego Gomez, Messi.
Here we go. Look.
Maybe Rojas.
Top to bottom. Suarez, no international games. Gomez and Messi, yes. Weigand, no. Redondo, no. Bright, no. Alba, no. Martinez. Does Martinez get called up to Paraguay? Maybe. I don't remember. Busquets, no. Aviles, no. Drake, no. So basically, Messi, Gomez, and Martinez, maybe. Somebody in the chat, maybe they can help me with that one. So Messi, Gomez, and maybe Martinez might get some international play. Outside of that, nothing. They're all just gonna be chilling for 21 days.
And let's look at backups. Gressel, no. Campana, no.
And Suarez retired from international playing. Besides the fact that he ripped the coach a new one.
Rojas might get called up. I think he did get called up at some point, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, I don't think Rojas is going to get called up.
Ben Krem, maybe. Campana, yes.
I don't think so either.
Campana, maybe, because he did get called up recently. But like, is he a shoo-in to get called up every...
But how often is he really going to play with us after this? Like, once this winter go home, Suarez is playing almost 90, if not 90.
Yeah.
So that's the tough part of this.
Yeah, you're gonna have a lot of fresh people. I mean, look, and the worst part is I'm actually, when it comes to the Ian Fray injury, for example, at least that leaves the back line with ability to sort of like gel together without having to think that other people are gonna come in and like fill in different roles and stuff. But that midfield, the midfield is critical. And like with this like swapping that we've been doing, and then on top of that,
this 11 I think is the 11 that's running the whole thank God, the whole I just lost my train of thought. Sorry, I was watching the Yankee game.
Yeah.
The entire playoff run, this is going to be the starting 11.
Yeah,
this is going to be the starting 11, I think, and I can't imagine anybody else sneaks into the starting 11 unless you can think of somebody. I think that this is it. Going forward,
I think that might be it. I mean, maybe a Gressel implementation at some point, just for
Christoph might play for Ukraine. Okay,
I mean, I guess that's good, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Listen, Gressel's not covering at right wing back. He's not doing that.
If he has to,
no way.
That's the position he played in Atlanta. That's the position he played for Columbus last year. He could play right wing back.
If he was not great at right mid, what makes you think he's going to be good at right wing back?
Because you have the liberty to make overlapping runs because you get to push up all the way. Like, look at Weigand. How many times did you see Weigand inside the box? Weigand had two great chances. One completely off, and one that was a beautiful shot that Brad Guzan blocked. So Gressel will have more opportunities to get crosses in playing right wing back than he would at right mid.
But the only reason that he gets any attention in that sort of sense is because, I mean, I'm thinking about this in like a basketball term, but he's the weak side, right? Like everything's going through the left with Jordi Alba.
100%.
Right?
No, I know.
And so the problem is like nobody's paying attention to Weigand. So like he could sit there all by himself and do whatever he wants, and nobody's really going to care. So yeah, if you put a more effective crosser back there, then you got some problems. You're creating yourself a really good offensive scenario on both sides. But then on top of that, you're looking at, you think that Gressel's going to track back like Weigand has? There's no way. There's no way.
I've given Gressel plenty of props since the summer about how well he plays at right wing, but he defensively for me, at least in my opinion, Gressel isn't it. Like I'm not going to count on him on his defensively.
Well, I mean, according to Mike V, we could still re-sign Coco Jean. I mean, you know what I was thinking about the other day, and this is just, I guess before we jump to topics. Does anybody know where Robbie Robinson is right now? Does anybody know what he's doing right now? I was telling myself to Google this all weekend and I haven't. And I don't know if I should be laughing at this, but like I'd love to know. Like I'm just curious, really. Where is Robbie Robinson? He's like the new Carmen Sandiego.
You're a horrible person. Let me tell you.
Where in the world is Robbie Robinson? Boom. Right?
As of
Are you
right now,
looking for him? Are you looking for him?
Yeah, he's not listed anywhere right now.
Where is he?
Nowhere.
Guys, chat, where is Robbie Robinson? Okay, all right, we get this, Mr. Krabs. Yes, this is the serious answer. Free agent. This is what I'm looking for, Mike V. Publix.
No, leave Robbie Robinson alone. Why are you such a dick? The poor kids had a hard time enough.
Look, I was just curious.
Poor Robbie Robinson.
I really think that he'd be a beast. He'd be a beast for like an open sort of team at striker. I think he'd be solid, man.
He always showed that he had the skill. It's just he just couldn't stay healthy.
He's with Emerson, according to Gus. I'll take that.
So Tank had an interesting question. I think we can name just about every backup for every position. But now that Ian Fray is down, if we go to 4 in the back, who would be and we're gonna get into Ian Fray in a second, but just who would be the right back? Will we just put Noah Allen to play at on the right?
Noah Allen played right back at some point. Noah Allen did play right back at some point. Yes, he did.
Robert Taylor has played right wing back on a number of occasions also.
Yes, he has. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised Franco Negri is the only outside back that I haven't seen play right back. But I've seen Noah Allen play right back.
David Ruiz has also played right back and right wing back.
Well, he's recovering off of an injury right now. So
we got options. This team is very deep. We have options. But all right. Let's get into
Isn't that kid Hall also like a right back?
No, he's a center back, but he hasn't had any playing time. You're not going to experiment in the playoffs with somebody that has never played with the first team. Yeah. Or if he has played, I don't remember him getting into any games, but maybe he has here or there. After Saturday's game, I remember I came on here and initially it wasn't as happy as you would figure the first playoff win would be, just because of the Ian Fray injury. It was a huge downer. I felt horrible for him, just because obviously, and we know as Inter Miami fans, everything he's gone through over the last few years, how hard he's worked to get back. And I mean, I don't know if you want to say that it's good news that it ended up being a meniscus. I want to say meniscus tear instead of the ACL. But regardless, it's still another knee injury, and I feel for him. I believe he's still gonna have to get surgery on it. That was a huge downer, man. I really feel for the kid.
Well, I was reading up on it, and it says that it's a quicker recovery.
I don't know how quick the recovery is. I did hear that it's not as bad as an ACL. That I did hear.
Isn't. Yeah.
But it's still, man, that kid, him and Yannick Bright and Noah Allen, I think those three were the young guys that this year really stood out. Noah Allen,
big time.
Yeah, Noah Allen at center back, proving everybody wrong that everybody's like, nah, he can't play center back. No, he could play center back. And then we had Yannick Bright, obviously, center defensive midfield stalwart, and then Ian Fray coming back and balling like he had never left. Those three, I really hate that had to happen to Ian Fray. If I could change it, I'd take the L and keep Ian Fray, and then just have to win the last 2 games, because that to me almost felt like a loss with a win.
Well, and Vice City Lucas is mentioning here, rumored to be back by training camp January, February.
No way, really that soon?
Well, I mean, 6 to 8 weeks, right? I mean, that's generally around the same time.
That is a lot better than an ACL then. Okay.
Yeah, Mike V saying better than ACL. He'll be ready for the start of the season. There's a couple things I was thinking about when it came to that injury. One, it sucks that it happened so close to the end of the game. I mean, literally minutes until the game was ending.
And he checked in really late too.
Yes. So that's one. And two, I got to imagine, I mean, other than the fact that it may be an ACL injury, right? Because to be emotional like that on the pitch, like you have to be an ultra competitor to play a sport like this at that level. But then to be able to go through this injury once again, like obviously your mind is going at 1,000,000 miles per hour thinking that you're done, ACL injury. But I thought to myself, man, it sucks because he got injured the last 2 times at the start of big tournaments.
Leagues Cup.
You have Leagues Cup and then the start of the playoffs. So like it sucks to have to right when it breaks off, when it's like really serious, and you're done.
Do you know what I think was the worst part? And maybe anybody in the chat can correct me if I'm wrong, but it felt like that ref rushed him off the pitch. And I kind of wanted to go in there and kick the ref in the face. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, you let other players just roll around on the ground forever. But because this kid is a relatively an unknown, all of a sudden you're going to, like, that really annoyed me. And I'm here watching it at home, but it felt like he was rushing him to get off the pitch. I'm like, what the hell's going on? Like, who's the captain? Who has the captain's band? Was it Messi?
I think it was Messi. I'm pretty
Messi
sure.
got to run up there and tell him to just shove it. Somebody, whoever's the captain, has to go in there and be like, yo, you got to relax. That's the captain's job. You tell him to relax because my guy is down and we're going to get him on the stretcher or whatever we need to do. But making him walk off when he messed up his knee, like if that's Drake or Messi, whoever it was, they needed to step up and get in the referee's face because you can't force him off when he's injured like that.
You know, but I'll tell you, I thought the same. But dude, as a referee, as an arbiter of the game, like to see this kid so emotional, understanding where he's like, how he's feeling, dude, you got to have a little bit of more heart. Dude was heartless.
Have some compassion.
Dude was heartless. And other players on Atlanta was there like, dude, I'm sorry. Like, you know, patting him on the back, touching him on the head. Like,
you can see just with his reaction.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that guy was a dickhead. That ref deserves a red card for sure. Are you kidding me?
And Gus is saying that Drake ran out there. Okay. Because, yeah, that was...
I was screaming at Drake because I was like, Drake, Ian Fray's down. I don't know if he paid attention to me, but I did. I was right behind him. I'm like, dude, I don't know if he saw it because, like, you know, I had to remind him. Just in case.
Good job on you.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah,
my dad whistle and everything.
Well, shout out to Ian Fray, man. I hope for a speedy recovery. I hope that he goes ahead and just balls out next year. I mean, we're gonna be rooting for him. I'll be rocking my ENF and Fray shirt, and we'll keep it rolling, man. Because he is. If you look, it's a very short history, right? That's why I like being part of this community because it's a short history and we're kind of growing with it. In the short history, we'll see, Bigote. Who do you think is the biggest fan favorite outside of the obvious huge names, right? Like Suarez, Messi, Busquets, but like fan favorite? I think that Lewis Morgan was that guy, and people still talk about him in that way.
Yeah.
Lewis Morgan. I think Ian Fray is up there also because of his story, because he keeps coming back, fighting through everything. And then Robert Taylor and Drake, I think, are 2 other ones. Like, am I missing one? Like, is there a big fan favorite? I think Ian Fray. And because he's played so well and the injuries, I think he's like moved up because everybody's really rooting for him really hard.
I think that Campana is one. I think that Campana is a big fan favorite.
You think so? Okay.
I really think so because
I think there's mixed emotions there.
No, I think the issue with Campana is that he's and if you think about it, he's played through like multiple ebbs and flows of this team, right? I mean, Breck Shea. I mean, that's just I guess. And I was gonna say Stancy. I mean, what Stancy said, Kremaki. That's another one. I think that Campana, because he hit a high with this team, and it was after riding the pine behind Higuain.
Yeah.
So like he's been a part of this team with its different ebbs and flows. So I feel like Campana has the bigger fan favorite deal going on.
I think Ian Frey is quickly making his way up there because everybody's rooting for him so hard. Look, Ian Frey, people criticize him. Not Ian Frey, I'm sorry. Campana, people criticize him, right?
Yes.
Some people love him, some people hate him. Noah Allen, some people, I haven't met anybody that doesn't like him, but some people are like, oh, but don't put him at center back.
I don't get it.
So it's hot and cold to him also. Robert Taylor, some people are like, oh, like you're obsessed. Other people are like, he's okay. Ian Fray, I've never heard anybody say anything bad about Ian Fray.
No.
Everybody thinks he plays great. Everybody's happy that they could put him at right back, at center back, at center defensive mid. I think everybody loves Ian Fray. Blaze Matuidi, no. No.
I think you're right about one thing, is that Ian Fray has never had like a hot and cold trend.
No. And I also agree, Noah Allen, a lot of people like, but when they first put him at center back, everybody's like, no.
Yeah.
Now some people are like, no, I don't like him at center back. Ian Fray, I've never heard anybody say anything bad about his game.
Listen, they put him at CDM one time, and he was effective.
Season, I thought that was his best position, just because he's so good with the ball at his feet that he's like he could become a box to box. He's so good defensively, and he could progress the ball forward. He's a good long pass. Like, I really like Ian Fray and everything that he brings. So
Mike V is saying Bright is my favorite. I mean, the thing is, we only have this season to work off with Bright, and Stancy's, and Stancy's mentioning Fray hasn't played enough to get a cold trend. On and off, Stancy, Fray's been playing on and off for like 2 years.
Yeah, man. Last season he played a good chunk before he got injured, and this season when he came back,
and he's been sort of like a Swiss Army knife too. I mean, we haven't.
And don't forget, it took like 3 or 4 games for Chris to hate Diego Gomez. He didn't even give him a chance.
Yeah, I was quick to cut the cord with him, but then
so there you go.
Sew it back together.
It doesn't take long for people to start disliking players, and then the players turn it around, and then they get on board. Ian Fray's been hot from the start. So, all right, but yeah, shout out to Ian Fray. Hope for the best, man, and hopefully we see him and he does well next year. All right, now let's get into the playoffs. Orlando played Charlotte yesterday. We touched on it already because their stadium was only like about 75% full, which was weird. But did you get to watch the game?
Yes, I did.
Are you at all worried about who we're going to play next round if or when we get past Atlanta? Because I will tell you, watching Orlando, for all the crap that I talk about them, they look pretty good yesterday. Like, against the best defensive team, they were on it, and especially in that first half. That first goal, before they scored that first goal, you knew something was going in because they were on it. I don't know.
You get a yellow card, bro. You get a yellow card. Are you serious? They weren't on anything. You know what it is?
Enrique, Facundo.
Angulo's a problem. Angulo's a problem.
What about Facundo?
Yeah, Facundo, whatever. He can eat a dick.
Enrique was balling. Look, I'm not saying that we're losing to them. I'm saying they look much better than the last time we played them. I'll tell you that.
Listen, it's easy to play the game after you just got a penalty. Before that penalty happened, Charlotte was like on it. They were pushing the pace. They were pushing the pressure onto Orlando. It was like a back and forth deal. This is going to make to be a great series. I think it's going to go all the way.
It's not a series though. Oh, you're talking about the Charlotte-Orlando one?
Charlotte-Orlando, yes. Yes.
Okay.
Charlotte is giving Orlando a run for their money. If they didn't give up the penalty in the beginning of the game, that game would have been completely different. I don't know if anybody in the chat watched the game, but to me, Orlando didn't look that good. They didn't look like world beaters. Charlotte,
their offense looked good. Playing against the best defense in the East. Did you forget that the reason I'm scared of Charlotte is because they have the best defense in the league, and I thought that they were creating chances. I was surprised. I was watching that, and I was like, God damn, what the hell is Orlando doing right now? I couldn't believe how efficient their attack was.
I mean, Gus
and how fast they are.
I mean, Gus is saying that he doesn't agree with me. I mean, Angulo is a problem. Angulo is a big-time problem.
And people are saying that Charlotte doesn't have a good... No, Charlotte's attack is crap. Swiderski's all they got. Like, they do not have an attack. That's why they play 11 behind the ball. They defend with 11, and then they'll try to beat you on the counter. That's what they do. But they defend so well that it becomes a pain in the ass, and then you could get beat on the counter. But I thought Orlando did a pretty good job of creating opportunities, even though Charlotte was defending. well against Kalina, the best goalie in the league this year. Am I saying that I'm at all worried about Orlando? No, I still think that Charlotte is the tougher opponent for us. But before yesterday, I was like, okay, Charlotte is going to be tough. If we get Orlando, it's fun because it's Orlando, but we should run over them. But I was surprised. I was surprised with what I saw from Orlando.
I think for Orlando to walk away with a 2-0 win, one of the kicks, I believe, being a penalty, literally took the game and it took it to another place. Like, it just made it harder for Charlotte. You take a 1-0 lead before the halftime off of a penalty. I mean, to me, if you got Charlotte knocking at your door,
but
you kind of suck.
Penalty.
Yes, they did. If I'm not mistaken, they scored on a penalty. Hold on.
No, Facundo got a, I forget, it was like deflection that fell to his feet, and he nailed it to the upper 90, I believe.
No, he didn't. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I have my games wrong.
Yeah, that was on a PK.
I have my games wrong?
Possibly because
no penalty, bro. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, maybe I'm just talking shit. Maybe I'm thinking about the LA. What's it called? Not the LA Galaxy. Hold on. What game am I talking about?
I don't know. But I will tell you. Okay, so maybe that's why you weren't impressed, because you don't know what game you're talking about. Because
I watched the game
before Facundo scored that goal. For the 5 to 10 minutes before that goal came in, I remember thinking to myself, like, they're gonna score. Like, these guys are on top of them, and I was surprised. I was like, how are these? Like, they have so many defenders. They defend well all season long. I was really confused as to how Orlando was getting so many opportunities, and they finally put one away, and it was a beautiful volley by Facundo. So, yeah, man,
I'll shut up now. Then. Maybe I'll go watch the game. Maybe I'll go watch the game again. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I watched the game. Like, I know I watched the game. I guess I just got it confused. I've been watching more MLS than I have my entire life.
There you go. And it's because Chris is going to be hosting the MLS podcast tomorrow night, talking about the Eastern Conference. Please get that right for tomorrow night, though.
Good luck. Oh my goodness.
We'll be doing the battered MLS fans tomorrow night, talking about the Eastern Conference first round. And then on Wednesday night, we'll be doing the Western Conference. Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah.
There's that.
Right,
I guess.
Anything else? Do you want to talk about the LAFC game that you watched?
I don't even know what the score is anymore. I don't even know what I've been watching. Did I dream this?
Well,
I will tell you, trying to look professional.
I will tell you that one of the forwards for Charlotte, Biel, I believe, got a red card.
Got a red card. Yes, I remember that. I do remember that.
So he will not be playing. So for an attack that's already poor going into the series, they're not lost one of their starting forwards. So I think that there's a possibility that Orlando might go ahead and close this out on Saturday, and they will also get 3 weeks off.
I am looking forward to playing against Orlando, because I do think that game here in Miami is going to be so much more lively. Like, the Orlando people, they're going to pay to watch this game. They're going to come over here.
Yeah, there haven't been a lot of Orlando fans this season when they came here, and then last season I can't remember. But it wasn't as much as it was the first season or two. But I think if it's a playoff game, I think they'll show out, which I hope so, because it's a lot more fun when they show up.
Yeah, I mean, Mez is saying that they think it'll be Inter Miami versus Orlando. Bigote is also mentioning about to close it out on Saturday. Also, I mean, it's gonna be a fun. It's gonna be a fun matchup if it is against Orlando.
Cincy beat NYCFC earlier tonight, and Columbus is probably gonna beat the Red Bulls. So it's looking like it's going to be Miami, Orlando, maybe Charlotte, but Miami, Orlando, Columbus, and Cincy, which would be the two rivalries in the East. And then on the West Coast, it's still up in the air over there. I mean, LAFC is going to kill Vancouver. The Galaxy going to kill the Rapids. And then you have the Seattle Dynamo, which are playing right now. and I'm forgetting one series. Can't remember which one I'm forgetting off the top of my head, but RSL to Minnesota. No, RSL Minnesota, which RSL should win that also. Oh. So we'll see. It should be fun. I think that was the little touch of playoffs, and I don't know if you want to talk a little Balon d'Or now.
Yeah, I mean, well, we got the Spanish show in a little bit. I don't know if you want to save the Balon d'Or for maybe
Espanol.
We could talk about it in a little bit in Spanish.
Well, just real quick, I was surprised that Vinny didn't win it. If Rodri was going to win it, I think I'd rather see Lautaro win it. I think.
Isn't it Lautaro?
Lautaro, okay, yeah, sure.
Lautaro.
I think I'd rather see him win it. Carvajal, I think, also had Carvajal, since Chris wants to go Spanish already. Carvajal, I thought, also should have a shot at it, because I just thought that it was really weird. Rodri, I don't know, like that Man City squad that's stacked, and everybody's like, oh yeah, but they rely on him. I don't think so. I don't know. I thought that was really weird, and but you know, I just was really surprised.
If I could lend any of my expertise to this topic, Rodri is typically ranked pretty good in FIFA every year. Yeah,
he is. So I think this is what did Vinny in, though. If it would have been a year where there was no summer tournament or the World Cup or Copa America in this case, or Euros, like if it would have been a year with no summer tournament, I think Vinny wins it. I think the fact that he disappeared in Copa America is what did him in, and the fact that Spain won it, I think that was the difference right there.
You know what I love? That someone
you really think that they. I'm sorry, Ryan. You really think that Rodri was the reason that they won the Euros? Okay,
that's big.
No, that's not the case. What are you saying, Chris?
I love that someone is gonna listen to this podcast later and listen to me bring up that Rodri has had consistently a good score in FIFA, and you're gonna respond back seriously like, yep. I love that that's gonna happen later. And they're gonna be like, this is serious soccer talk.
Look, and then I know he was only 16, 17 at the time of the tournament. I thought that he was the reason that they won, but you know,
the best.
Yeah, I know. I know. And then Modric won Best Player of the World Cup a couple of years ago in 2018. I mean, people win awards. Doesn't mean that Rodri won the Player of the Year this year, today. Doesn't mean that he was, at least not in my opinion, but doesn't matter what I think.
Why is it? And maybe I have no idea what I'm talking about, because I still think there was a penalty in Orlando. But why is everybody saying football won this week?
Because they were upset that Real Madrid was going to win the trophy again.
Okay, so I see. Mm-hmm. So we just don't want Real Madrid to win anything, right?
No, correct.
Like that's the idea.
And I think that another thing is that what happened to Vinicius today, I think, is what happened to Albert Bell in 1995. Where he had a crazy season, and this is a baseball talk here, but the media hates him so much, his personality, that he lost it to move on.
Well, Bell's a dickhead, though.
Yes, he is. And Vinicius, a lot of people see him that way also. Nobody look, even Real Madrid fans, and maybe not the ones that are blinded, but you look at Vinicius and you're like, my God, why do you have to be? Why does your personality have to be this way? And I think that that's another reason why. He also didn't get it. I think his personality, didn't do him any justice also.
Well, I don't know if you want to bounce onto another subject, but I sent you something on Instagram a little bit earlier that supposedly, and I'm not sure how accurate this is, so I'm just going to say supposedly, allegedly. Okay. Are you guys ready? Mm-hmm. Neymar has purchased property in South Florida. I said allegedly, Danny, so don't panic. Okay?
Look, we had this conversation a little bit in the post game on Saturday, and if we could touch on it a little bit if you want, just so everybody knows. I don't know if it still is, but there was a point before Chris really got into football that Neymar was his favorite player. Like, I don't know if that's still the case, Chris, but at one point, Neymar was Chris's favorite player. Yes. So I think Neymar coming to Miami and wearing that Miami kit might be a big deal for Chris.
Oh,
We've said huge. He's coming. We said he's been coming. We all said 2026. I thought that he would open the new stadium with Messi. At no point did I think that this winter was going to be an option. I did not think that he would come back literally, possibly in January. And that is the rumor. So although I always thought 100%, and I would have bet my house, my anything on the fact that he was going to play on this team, at no point did I think it would be this soon. Now, is it happening? I have no idea. But where there's smoke, there's fire. And there seems to be a lot of smoke with this.
Well, everybody's mentioning that he has a house in Miami, but the house that he bought here apparently is like in Bal Harbor or somewhere in Broward or North Florida or something like that. Now, Vice City is mentioning doesn't mean anything. He's always down here for even the Heat games. He's best friends with Jimmy. Yeah, but being best friends with Jimmy and being here in Miami all the time doesn't lead to buying a property in Broward County. Who's buying a house in Broward County?
Like, all the signs have always pointed to Neymar coming here. But when you add the fact that he is best buddies with Jimmy Butler, he is best buddies with Messi and Suarez, he likes Miami, he wants to come and play in the MLS. Beckham, he told Beckham that he would eventually come here. Like, they brought, and I always forget this guy's name, that guy that they brought to replace Chris Henderson. What's his name? I always forget his name. Whatever his name is. You guys know what I'm talking about. He's the one that got into Barcelona. He stayed in Barcelona the whole time Neymar was there. Like, there's so many signs pointing that he's coming. He's coming. Now the question is when. And I never thought that to start the 2025 season. I thought maybe the summer window for 2025, but to start the season, that's absolutely ludicrous. That is wild. And I don't know what that means for our defense, because we're going from Diego Gomez, who defends up as a left winger, to no defense from the top three, but it should still be fun to watch.
I mean, look, Sanlehi is the guy, but I'd actually prefer El Bigote saying sketchy used car salesman guy.
There you go.
So, and I'll go ahead and I'll bring up this comment here by Alejandro. There we go. Love it. New sounds, guys. We promised you this. And he says, Bal Harbor, 26 mil. Now, Robert is saying, brah, I own a house in Broward County. You lucky, Chris, that I believe in the Orlando penalty as the Yankees, something bad happens. Listen, I'm not saying it's bad to go to Broward. I actually would love to move to Broward County because I hate Miami. But as a celebrity, because, man, it's just packed and it's everything is underpaying everything and you're paying over for everything else. It's a disaster here.
I love Miami.
Boom shakalaka.
Yeah. All right. I think we've covered just about everything that we were going to cover. Remember, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to Battered Herons en Español. It's a different YouTube channel. We're going to go live in about 11 minutes with Xavier Lavos and Solana. We're going to be talking some football en Español. We're going to be covering the game. And maybe we'll talk a little more awards from today. I know a lot of people want to talk about Dibu. Coincidentally, I didn't even realize that I was wearing the Aston Villa. Dibu just won goalie of the year, and I'm rocking the Aston Villa kit. So look at that. Go figure. And then tomorrow we'll be going live with the Battered MLS fans. So make sure that you subscribe to that channel also. Chris, any final words?
No, man. It's been a fun show. And I can't wait to do the preview for Atlanta this Wednesday.
That's right. And then John Duran, MLS legend. And look, just real quick, I think that Almada, Duran, and players like this you're going to see this way more often. I'm telling you, it's going to be the bridge. MLS, and I know we want to eventually be the destination, but it's going to take a while for that to happen. The MLS will become the bridge from South America to Europe. So you're going to see a lot more players coming here instead of going to just random second division English teams or to the German league or whatever. Like, you're going to see that happening a lot more. A lot of South Americans like to go to play in Portugal. You're going to see them come to MLS before they go over there. And I really do believe that. So get ready, because the MLS is going to continue to grow big time in the next decade. All right. If you are listening on audio, we appreciate you listening all the way to the end. Please leave us 5 stars, comment, review, all that good stuff. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you for watching all the way to the end. Please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends. And as always, for those of you in the chat, you guys are the best part of the show. We don't just say that, we mean it. I appreciate you guys hanging out with us for the last 50 minutes. And we will be back in 10 minutes for the Battered Herons in Espanol. And if you do not speak Spanish and you can't understand what we're saying and you can't hang out with us, go ahead, join us tomorrow night, Battered MLS fans, with Chris hosting. Who knows what he'll be talking about when he's going over the games. And then we'll be back on Wednesday for the previews of the Atlanta game in English at 8 o'clock, in Spanish at 9 o'clock. And we'll be doing Battered MLS fans for the Western Conference at 10 o'clock on Wednesday. So a full packed night of football. So until the next one, have a good one.
I saw a